Hi, my name is Genge from Combat Lab. This is going to be a tutorial on using arm drag to head takedown for the Warrior Collective. I'm going to teach this in a slightly different method to some other teachers, and I'm going to teach it from the perspective of principle. Systema has a number of ways of teaching, and one way of teaching is by principle, another way is by movement, and I want to explain things by principle in this one. We're going to use an arm drag, which is not really a classic Systema technique, but we're going to do it anyway because it's so useful, because at any situation where I end up on the inside with an opponent, I have danger from maybe another weapon, all sorts of other attacks, and ideally what I want is, I want Sonny to be facing here, away from me. If Sonny's facing over here and I'm facing towards him, he's in the most vulnerable position. It's the same with the idea of jiu-jitsu where they want to take someone's back. So to drill this idea, first thing I'll just show you it through. We're going to go here, turn, take him to the floor. Here, turn, take it to the floor. So how does this work from a perspective of principle? Well, the first thing to know is how we're arm dragging. Now, you can see some people will arm drag and they will drag the person physically forward with it. So if he's a bit stronger and I drag him forward, and you see how it's quite hard to do. The reason being for this is that Sonny is being forced beyond what's called his base of support. So if I just turn him around this way here, the human body can move side to side here. This is called the frontal plane. It can move backwards and forwards in what's called sagittal. And the last one it does, it rotates around the vertical axis in what's called a horizontal plane. Now, any movement side to side or forwards and backwards starts to take its centre mass beyond what's called the load bearing area. The load bearing area is this area between here and here, his heels and his toes. This area is his load bearing area where his support is. His centre of mass, when it's over here, he feels he's in a good structure. So if I can take him beyond that, he's more likely to fall over. So any time I drag him forward, he's more likely to resist, as opposed to if I rotate him horizontally. So you will see in a lot of Systema takedowns, the first plane that they will go for is that rotation in a horizontal plane. So in this arm drag, we're going to do exactly that. I'm going to grip the wrist. This is no different to wrestling or anything else. You know, a straightforward, simple technique. Grip the wrist, cut behind the tricep. But what we're going to do is, instead of dragging him forward, is we're going to turn and look over there. I'm going to turn and look over there in my centre mass. I'm going to throw this arm this way and then drag this arm through like this. So it turns there. So from here, turn, look. Here, turn, look. You see that it's turning him in the horizontal plane. Now another important point is I'm not just dragging him and rotating him with my arms. I'm doing it with my centre mass, because there's a principle in Russian martial art called hard clutch. And it's a very sort of convoluted way of basically saying that my centre mass should move his. So if I am starting to just work with my arms, I'm not working efficiently because I'm not using my centre. So from here, I turn and I throw it. From here, once I've turned and thrown it, I'm going to have to grab something. Now, you can start working with shoulders and things like that, and that's good. However, it's not necessarily the most efficient thing we can do, and it's certainly not the most effective. What we're looking at doing is getting something that's painful. Here, we're going to grip his nose. Underneath the nose, we're going to use as near to the knuckle as possible. Any of these fingers will do. The reason we do that is a matter of leverage. If I start using this bit here underneath his nose, there's a lot of lever on that knuckle and it's going to hurt me more than him. So I want to be right up underneath the nose. So from here, I turn. I grip his nose and I start to rotate his head backwards. I start to turn him and drop his weight. Now by doing this, what I'm actually doing is I'm rotating him in multiple planes. As we said, the human body can move in 3 planes, but once that third plane has been taken, the body will collapse. It can't help it. And this comes from the spiral. So if you ever see in martial arts a spiraling movement as a takedown, that's what's happening. We're taking him through all 3 planes of motion. So it's basic drill. 1, turn, take him down. One more time. Grip, here, turn, take the face, continue, sink. One last thing that's kind of good to do is to use your body weight, because if I start to just drag him to the floor there, it's not going to work so well. As opposed to if I sink my own weight Now I start to add my mass and the acceleration of gravity to it, increasing the amount of force that's available. So this is one of our high percentage techniques. If you think of the guys in MMA, they use single legs because they're high percentage. For us, this as a takedown is high percentage. And there are other ways that are maybe a bit fancier that we can get people to the floor, but this works and it's really, really useful. So thanks for watching this tutorial on an arm drag to head takedown. If you want more information on my club, please visit our website. It's www.combatlab.russianmartialart.org.uk. Also, could you look at the videos and tutorials on the Warrior Collective YouTube channel site at www.warriorcollective.com.